Jnanakosha, Puranas, Introduction.
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Narada Purana, description of fast for Lakshmi Narayana. Sanat Kumar says, O great among the sages, now I am narrating about an excellent fast which destroys all the sins. Observing fast on full moon day is considered excellent among all the fasts. It leads to fulfillment of all the desires and protects the devotee from influence of harsh planet. Like the fast of Dwadashi, this fast is also begun from the month of Margashira and observed continuously on every full moon day of succeeding months till Kartika, when it is closed with proper rituals. To begin with, one should start worshipping Lord Vishnu since the morning of full moon day in the month of Margashira, wearing white clothes and reciting Namo Narayana. After the worship, the devotee must perform a havan on a square-shaped altar, offering oblations with cooked cereals, sesame seeds, ghee, etc. White flowers, unbroken rice, grains and water are offered to the Lord. In the evening, the same things are offered to the rising full moon also. A devotee must pass the night engaged in religious discussion, singing of devotional songs. Next day, donations are made to the Brahmin after performing usual worship. The same rituals are performed every month to observe the fast. Rituals for closing this fast in the month of Kartik on full moon day are also elaborate. First of all, the devotee should build a rectangular canopy and decorate it with floral garlands, arches, lamps, cinnabar, mirrors, whiskers. At the center of the canopy on the ground, Sarvotha Bhadra wheel should be drawn with 5 pillars. Then 1 to 12 urns are kept on this wheel, and on these urns silver or golden idols of Lord Vishnu are placed. These idols are bathed with milk containing curd, ghee, honey and 5 types of dry fruits. Then a proper elaborate worship is carried out for these idols. Night is passed singing devotional songs. Next morning, after proper worship, these idols are donated to the presiding priest. It is followed by feeding of Brahmins. All these rituals are closed with performing a havan offering sesame seeds as oblation. Those who perform these worships with proper rituals enjoy worldly comforts lifelong and attain abode of Lord Vishnu. Flagging in the temple of Lord Vishnu. Sanat Kumar says, O Narada, now I am narrating about the flagging fast in order to please Lord Vishnu. He who performs this fast is even worshipped by Brahma and other deities. This fast accords virtues equal to those of donating 1000 carats of gold to a Brahmin or those attained taking bath in the Ganges and worshipping Shivalinga and basil sapling. The devotee should observe this fast on the 10th day of the brighter phase in the month of Kartik. He should worship Sri Hari since morning after taking bath and wearing fresh clothes. He is expected to sleep before the idol that day. Next day he should again perform worship, recite Nandi Shraddha among with 4 Brahmins and bathe masts of the 2 flags. He must then worship the sun, the moon and Garuda. Then turmeric, sandalwood paste are smeared on the mass and white flowers are offered on them. Thereafter the devotee must smear just enough ground with cow dung and produce a fire in an altar. 108 oblations are made with kheer in this fire. Havan thus performed is directed to Lord Vishnu. Brahma and Lakshmi. Then 8 oblations are offered reciting Veniteya Swaha. It is followed by oblations offered to the sun, the moon, and Kamadhenu. The night is passed in worship and performing havans. Next morning, the same rituals are performed to worship Lord Vishnu. At last, the flags are carried to a temple of Lord Vishnu and installed at the pinnacle or on top of column. Lord Vishnu is worshipped with proper rituals circumambulating the temple. One should then present Brahmins with clothes and dakshina, feed them, and should take food after all. It is said that as long as the flag flutters in air, as much sins of the devotee are destroyed and he attains the abode of Lord Vishnu. Tale of the King's Summit's previous birth. Narada says, O Sanat Kumar, a king's summit had performed this flagging fast for the first time. Kindly narrate to me the tale of his life. Sanat Kumar says, during Satya Yuga, a Somavanshi king Sumit was ruling the entire earth. He was very religious in nature and a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. He served the other devotees with respect and was a down-to-earth person. His queen Satyamati was also a chaste woman. Both of them were the great worshippers of Sri Hari and knew everything about their previous birth. They regularly donated cereals and water. Satyamati used to dance in the temple of Lord Vishnu with pure feelings. The king also would install a big and beautiful flag in the temple on the 12th day of brighter phase of every month. Their reputation had reached all the 3 worlds. One day a sage, Vibhadak, came to visit the king along with his disciples. The king and the queen treated the sage with respect, and the king himself seated on a lower seat before the sage. The king says, I am saved, O sage. Now order me, how can I serve you? The sage says, O king, I am very much pleased with you. Now I will ask you a few questions. Answer them honestly. You regularly install a big and beautiful flag in the temple of Lord Vishnu, whereas there are many more rituals to please him. Tell me the reason for your actions. The king says, O sage, I tell the reason for my action. Kindly listen to it. In the previous birth, I was a Shudra named Malini and always engaged in appalling activities. One day I abandoned my family and society and migrated to the forest, where I sustained myself on deer's flesh. But there too I used to rob the passers-by. One day I had nothing to eat, nor could I lay my hand on any passer-by. Scorching sun of the summer was adding to my woe moreover. Thus perplexed by the thirst, hunger, and intense heat, I was roaming in the forest when all of a sudden I stumbled upon a temple of Lord Vishnu. It had long been deserted and was very much in dilapidated condition. A small lake was also there beside the temple. In the lake, beautiful birds like swan and ducks were playing, and delicious fruits and scented flowers also abounded in the forest. Since I was feeling tired to the point of dropping down, I ate the fruits which had fallen on the ground. Then I took rest at the bank of the lake. Since that day, I began to live in that temple. There I repaired the walls, cleaned the premises, and erected a small hut for myself. But still I used to hunt small animals to satisfy my hunger. 20 years passed like that. One day a sadhvi, a female hermit named Avakokila, who hailed from a Nishat family in Vindhyachal, came there. Her family members had deserted her because of sinister actions she was involved in. She was thin and lean due to continuous starvation. Feeling pity on her, I gave her some fruits and flesh to eat. When she recovered, she narrated her tale, and I am narrating to you as it was. Sadhvi says, I was born in the family of oarsman. Daruk, my father. I was a great backbiter, thief, and sinner. My family therefore deserted me. For some time, my husband fostered me, but he too died. Since then, I have been wandering from this place to that, and it is because of Lord's grace that I have arrived here. The king says, listening to her tale, I married her and we began to live in the temple. Every day we used to eat flesh and fruit. One day, under the intoxication of wine, we enjoyed our time greatly. We even began to dance, forgetting our physical condition. Suddenly, agents of Yama arrived there and began to tighten their noose around us. Simultaneously, Sri Hari too sent his agents. Vishnu's agents say, O imprudent Yamadutas, release this great devotee of Lord. Vishnu Yamaduta say, these are abject sinners. We will definitely take them with us. These words infuriated the agents of Vishnu. Vishnu's agents say, they are not sinners. They are great devotees and the sons of Lord Vishnu. This woman has performed a dance while this man has installed a flag in the temple. Thus their sins have been destroyed and they have now a right to the supreme abode. They have served this temple for the past 32 years. Saying this, the agents of Vishnu snapped the noose and carried us to the abode of Vishnu in a divine aircraft. Hearing this tale from the king, Sumit, sage Vibhantak, felt extreme joy and went to the forest. Description of Hari Panchatra Vrata. Sanat Kumar says, O Narada, I am now narrating about another fast. It is Hari Panchak fast and is rare in all the world. It destroys all the sorrows of the devotee, fulfills his all desires, and helps him attain the 4 goals of life. It is observed for 5 days in the month of Margashira, starting from the 10th day of the brighter phase till the full moon day. On the first day, a day-long fast is observed after worshipping Lord Vishnu in the morning. It is broken with a plain meal in the evening. Next day, Lord's idol is bathed with milk containing ghee, curd, honey, and 5 types of dry fruits, followed by usual worship. Vows of the fast are recited and prayers are made for their successful completion. That whole night and also the subsequent night till full moon night are passed reciting Lord's name and singing devotional songs. Bathing of Lord's idol with milk containing ghee, curd, honey and dry fruits continues in the morning every day till full moon day. On the full moon day, Havan is performed with oblations of sesame seeds and donations. On the 6th day, the devotee must drink Panchagavya and worship Sri Hari, feed Brahmins, and only then should take meal silently. This fast is observed every month till Kartik, and closing rituals are taken up in the month of Margashira next year. During the closing rituals, the devotee should observe day-long fast on the 11th day and take only Panchagavya on the 12th day. Thereafter, he should worship Lord Vishnu, donate honey, ghee, fruits, kheer and urn filled with water and containing 5 jewels to the Brahmin. He should then feed the Brahmin before himself taking any meal. O Narada, those who observe this Haripanchak fast never return from Brahmaloka. Those who desire for salvation should essentially observe this fast. It destroys all the sins like a fire destroys a forest. Its virtues are equal to those of donating millions of cows. Description of the fruits of fast. Sanat Kumar says, now I am narrating about an excellent fast for the benefit of the world. Listen to it carefully. O Narada, this fast must be observed in the months of Ashad, Shravan, Bhadrapad or Ashwin. On any day during the brighter phase of these months, the devotees must drink Panchagavya and pass his time in the vicinity of Lord Vishnu's idol. then reciting scriptures in the guidance of learned Brahmins. He should take a vow to observe a month-long fast, praying Lord Vishnu to protect him from any unforeseen crisis. The devotee should since then pass his time in a temple for 1 month. Everybody he should bathe the idol with milk containing ghee, curd, honey and dry fruits and light the lamps before the idol. He is also expected to pass his life in a natural way without using any artificial thing like toothpaste or soap. Then he should feed a Brahmin and give them dakshana. According to the provision of fast, the devotee should feed at least 12 Brahmins and donate jewelry. Virtues of this fast are enormous. A widow woman who has no son, ascetic bachelor, and vanaprasthi should essentially observe this fast. No,
అంతే కదా అయింది. నేను మామూలుగా 7:30 తింటాను కదా, లేటే కాదు.
Tale of Bhadrashil Brahman. Sanat Kumar says, O Narada, a fast on Ekadashi, 11th day, in both the phases of a month, pleases Sri Hari and fulfills all the desires. On the 11th day of each phase, one should not dine. Those who dine on the 11th day commit severe sins. Salvation from sins like killing a Brahmin is possible, but there is no method to eliminate the sins incurred because of dining on the 11th day. Brahmins should essentially observe fast on the 11th day of each phase. The preparations for Ekadashi Vrata start on the 10th day. The devotee should worship Sri Hari in the morning with proper rituals and pass the night in the vicinity of the idol. On the 11th day, the devotee should worship Sri Hari in the morning and take on oath to observe fast during the day and pray the Lord to protect him from calamities. The devotee must pass the night singing devotional songs, reciting scriptures, and if possible, dancing. In the morning of the 12th day, he should worship Lord Vishnu as usual. Then he should feed Brahmins and make donations as per his powers. Performing 5 kinds of yajnas, the devotee should break his fast in the last. During the period of fast, the devotee must not see wretched ones and desist from talking to such people who oppose Brahmins. As there is no pilgrimage place holier than the Ganges, no teacher greater than the mother, and no deity more virtuous than Lord Vishnu. Similarly, there is no fast greater than Ekadashi Vrat is. O Narada, I am now narrating an idle old tale. Listen to it carefully. In the ancient times, a great sage, Galav, lived in the dense forest on the bank of the river Narmada. He was very peace-loving and truth-abiding in nature. The forest surrounding his hermitage was the playground for beautiful fauna, yakshas, gandharvas, and vidyadharas. Sage Galava passed his time engaged in penance. Thus he lived there for a long time. He had an equally virtuous son named Bhadrashil, who was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu and who knew everything about his previous birth. In his childhood, Bhadrashil used to play with his friends, but his plays reflected his religious sentiments. He would make an earthen idol of Lord Vishnu and worship it. He also would tell his friends to always worship Lord Vishnu and observe fast on the 11th day of every phase in every month. His friends too followed him. During the worship, Bhadrashil used to wish well for the entire world. His activities pleased the sage Galav very much. Galav says, O fortunate one, you are really Bhadrashil, because even the yogis rarely have a nature like yours. You always indulge in worship of Hari, benefit of all, and observe fast on Ekadashi. You always abstain from forbidden work. How come you acquired such a peaceful and unconflicting mind? I am very much pleased with you. Kindly tell me about your achievement. Bhadrashil says, O father, I have some remembrance of my previous birth. During my previous birth, Yama had preached me about religion. These words surprised Galla. He says, O fortunate one, who were you in your previous birth? What did Yamaraj said to you and why? Bhadrashil says, O great sage, I was a king in Soma dynasty. I had received knowledge from Dharmakirti and Dattatreya. I ruled continuously for 1,000 years. During this period, I committed various religious as well as irreligious tasks. In the company of impostors, I too became an impostor. Working diplomatically, I destroyed yajnas. My subjects also followed me and began to behave irreligiously. I received sixth part of their evil deeds. One day I went to the forest hunting. There I killed many animals. After a while, perplexed by thirst and hunger, I reached the bank of Narada. I had stayed into deeper forests all alone. The intense sun was scorching my body. I was about to drop down because of hunger when I saw that people on the bank of Narmada were observing Ekadashi Vrat. I joined them and stayed awake for along the night without taking any food. But I could not bear the starvation and exhaustion and died as a result. Fierce looking Yamadoots took me to Yamaraj. Yamaraj asked Chitragupt to open the account of my life. Chitragupt thought for a moment and said, It's true, O Yamaraj, that this person is a sinner, but now he is free from his sins due to observing fast on Ekadashi and passing his night in the company of pious devotees. Hearing these words, Yamaraj greeted me and worshipped me with devotion. Then he called his servers. Yamaraj says, Listen to me, O agents, I am narrating something to your interest. Never bring to me in future anybody who is engaged in religious tasks. Stay away from those who always recite the name of Sri Hari. Greet them from a distance. This is my order as well as teaching to all of you. Spare all those who serve their teachers, love their religion, are helpless, serve the pious one, and are truly deserving. Bring all such people who abuse their mother, hate the world, steal the wealth of temples and Brahmins, who are killers, who do not observe fast on Ekadashi, who are short-tempered, criticize me, and nurture hostility with others. Hearing such words from Yamaraj, fire of penance began to burn within me. More intense this fire grew, more of my sins were destroyed. I acquired an appearance of Sri Hari. Even Yamaraj greeted me with respect. His action even surprised the Yamadoots. Worshipping me, Yamaraj sent me on a divine aircraft to the abode of Vishnu. O Father, I was passing my time happily. I did not know how and when crores of years passed. Then arrived in Indralok. There I stayed with the gods for many kalpas. It was after such a great experience that I have arrived on the earth. Having the knowledge of my previous birth, I always engaged in the worship of Hari and inspire others to follow suit earlier. I didn't know the virtues of Ekadashi Vrata, but now because of the knowledge of my previous birth, I have come to know about it. I observed it without any desire and without knowing that I was actually observing a fast and received so much in return. Hence I cannot tell how much will one receive if he observe Ekadashi Vrat with some desire. Those who devotedly worship Sri Hari and observe Ekadashi Vrat attain even the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. The words of his son gladdened sage Galau. He says, My birth has been successful because I got such a devotee son like you who told me the complete method of worshipping Lord Vishnu.